Hey guys, how you doing? Mowers and Blowers here again. So my UPS driver, he's on my payroll. Nah, not really. He's a good guy. He likes small engine equipment too. Anyway, he always sees me working on it when he delivers stuff to me. Anyway, he took my number down, and you know, that guy is a perfect guy. He's driving around all day with this truck. So he said he saw this thing sitting at this address over here, and he just threw it out. It was right there. So I zipped out of my house. It was really close, around the block from my house. So it's a CCR 3650. Yeah, 3650. 6.5 horsepower, R-Tek. Auger paddles look good. Looks like it's just has a bad primer bulb. Anyway, I'm gonna take it home. Check out the sitch. So I just got this baby home, and it had no gas in it. And if you look, this primer bulb is not just trashed. I mean, it's really trashed. After lifting this stuff, it just crumbles in pieces. Very brittle. Anyway, so you're not going to be able to get any fuel through that. It's just like nothing, you know. So fortunately, though, this thing does have electric start. Hopefully it works. I put gas in it. It's a 40-to-1 2-cycle or 50-to-1 ratio. And so it's on choke. We'll go ahead and plug this in and see what happens. And because it you can't prime it, you got to spray a little bit of carb cleaner in there. Let's see if I can see where it is. There it is. Alright, let's give it a whirl and see. Let me pull it first. Yeah, it has compression. Yeah, alright, I'm going to try it. Aha. You know what that is? The teeth of the electric start is not moving up as you push it. So it's freewheeling. It has to be greased. It's freewheeling here. Ooh, you see that? Getting old. Alright, so, you know, kind of wants to start, you know, probably needs a carb clean. I'm going to order a new primer bulb since I used up all my spares. Open up that panel and see how the carb looks, and then loosen up that starter gear. So I got a nut driver here. Fits perfectly. It's a 5/16. And it's just three bolts over here. From what I remember, you can get access to the starter right around there. The engine is like there, starter's like around there. So I need to take this panel off and that panel off, and then we can check out the sitch. So the top panel came off with those 3 screws. Look what I discovered. Yep, this pull cord is on its last rope. No pun intended. Anyway, this is an easy fix, man. So I'll just you guys seen my other video. See, this is an easy fix. You clip it right there with some wire cutters, right? And then you make sure that this doesn't suck it back in. You put a clamp over here, right, like vice grips or something, so it doesn't suck that rope back in there. You're gonna need that. And you just clip it there. Burn it at the end so it's nice and hard, right? And then just restring it over here, tie a knot, you know, and then you got that fixed. But this one's here is gonna, well, it's got a few pulls left, you know. It's not as bad as the other one I had, but yeah, that's how you fix that right away. Easy fix. Primer bulb needs to be ordered, and I thought I had a bunch more, but I guess I don't. It's really easy. Those 3 bolts made this panel come off. 2 of those bolts actually held down the forward part of the red cowling. So look, if you just lift it, you just got to take the gas cap off, right? And then it's 2 Phillips screws over here. Easy peasy. This is going to get in the way, but you basically just want to lift this up a little bit, you know. That might be a problem, because let's see how wide that is. It may not give you too much room in here to put your hand in there. So this one might have to come off. That would suck, because that's a pain in the ass. These 3. And we'll take these screws out. Actually, starter actually isn't on the top now that I look through the spaces there. It looks like it's on the bottom. So before I take all that crap down, I'm gonna open up the bottom instead. Anyway, I wanted to mention that these 2 screws, I mean, were attached to little bolts, so that when you turn the screws, the bolts moved with it. So you got to get some good nut drivers. These things are great. It comes in a pack of 6. Has all the most common sizes. It was only like $7 over at Harbor Freight Tools. Yeah, I know they're cheap tools and stuff like that, but these actually work pretty good. You use them, you get what you can out of them, and then when they go bad, throw them away and get a new pair, new set. It comes out to about $1.15, $1.25 each. That's worth it, man. I've used it on several items already, so well worth the money. How do you beat $8, you know, $7.99? Anyway, I'll take the bottom panels off. So I just put it on its face, you know, that's how it sits. And you have access to the entire bottom panel here. The bottom panel is easy. This thing was just, you know, stuffed in like that, you know, right? Both sides. And just pulled it out. And it's kind of oily here. Either oil or gas, whatever. But it's old. Anyway, there's a starter motor right there. The part that we need to look at is being covered by this small little panel there. And it looks like it's just 1 screw. I'm going to take that screw out and see if we can loosen this panel so I can at least shoot some PB blaster in that thing. That usually works. You know, pry it loose. It's probably the starter hasn't been used in a while, which is why it you know, probably seized up, or it didn't seize up because, you know, the motor spins, but you know, the gear is supposed to shoot out freely and loosely so it can grab the flywheel and turn the crank. So I took that nut out, and that didn't do anything. That just that was just holding the cable in place. Actually, since I was looking at the camera before, I actually have some access in there. I could take a flathead screwdriver and just pry it a little bit as I put some PB blaster. Maybe that'll loosen it up without taking anything off. I've got some PB blaster here. I'm just gonna saturate that area with it. It's gonna be a little messy, but that's okay. You want it to get in there, you know. This PB blaster stuff's great. I've used it a lot. Really penetrates those areas that maybe WD-40 doesn't, you know. I'll plug that in there now and see if we can use a flathead screwdriver and pry it to the right as it's moving. So I know it's tough to see, but it looks like the teeth are all ground down to nothing, you know. So I think that might be the problem. Not so much it doesn't move or engage the flywheel, but the teeth are all rubbed out, you know. So it may need a new gear, is what it is. I might have to stop and weigh my options. As you can see there, it does move forward as it spins. As it's engaged. So the teeth are not catching because the teeth are now gone. They're all been scratched off. So to remove the starter, you'd have to get the bolt from the top over there. One bolt there, and I assume another one on the other side. But it's tedious, very cumbersome. Top panel needs to come off and get your hand in there. So probably an entire disassembly of all the panels. Shouldn't be too tough. That one over there, just to get this off, was pretty easy. Just 2 bolts, 2 screws, I mean. And doesn't seem to be that much pain in the ass. But it looks like I might have to order not just a primer bulb, but also the starter gear. So I got the serial number right there and the model number. So come on, focus, man. I'm wearing gloves, so 38518. And look at this carb. You can tell right away this is Briggs & Stratton. It's one of those new plastic carbs. I've actually never seen one on a snowblower before. Only the newer 450E, 550EX Briggs & Stratton engines for lawnmowers, I've seen them on. This is the first time I've seen it on a snowblower. Kind of cool. They're pretty easy to clean, you know, which is good. So I'll probably just do that now. Just 2 Phillips screws right there. Clamp off the fuel line. Need some more. There you go. Look at the linkages. So it's go up, twist to the left. Can't do it with one hand. Hold on. Linkage, breather hose, and there it is right there with the gasket and all. So I just loosened these 4 bolts. Honestly, it was very loose. The bolts, I mean. The screws. Hardly on there. I guess they don't want to over tighten them because, you know, ooh. For a plastic carb, that's pretty dirty. That float bowl, that's gross. Actually, the float bowl doesn't even look like it's hollow. Looks like it's just foam. And it's solid. Feels like it's solid. So even though you can see that there's some cracks and stuff, if you shake it, you always have to shake it to see if there's any water. But it looks like it's just a solid, you know, sponge thing that allows it to float. So it's that's good because you definitely, it'll definitely float, you know. And it won't get saturated with fuel and sink. So the needle's pretty clean. That little mesh filter, it acts as a gas filter. It is okay. And so while I blasted the holes here pretty well, I want to get to that jet nut. I know it probably doesn't need it because I sprayed into it and saw it come out clearly on the other side. But I've never worked on this before, you know. So I want to get that out just to see, you know, just for my own education, you know. So I used a really tiny screwdriver to get that. So a tiny screwdriver to get that out, that was clear. And then a big screwdriver to get that out, but be careful because you might strip it. It's very sensitive, so a big one to get that one out. And that one has the little holes here. They look pretty clean though, as I suspected, but I'll get a wire anyway and stick it in there. So take one of these twisty ties and shear off the coating. Get that little needle there, wire, and get all the holes. I'm gonna blast carburetor cleaner through it and then wipe off that residue stuff. And just because I'm curious, I took out the fuel seat too, just to clean it out. It was clean. So I'm pretty confident that I've cleaned the carburetor pretty well. I actually took it apart more than I wanted to, but I was curious. You know, I've never worked on this type of plastic Briggs & Stratton carburetor before, so it was interesting. Pretty easy, you know. You just have to remember where you took stuff off and where you put them back again, you know. And making a video obviously helps that, you know. So everything looks good. This looks like it's bent out a little bit too much, which means the throttle will be really high. You don't want the RPMs to be too high, otherwise you'll prematurely burn out the engine, you know. But we'll adjust it as we go. But it's clean, and I reconnected the gas line, and obviously this electric start, you know, doesn't work because the teeth are done. But I'll try to start this up now by hand pulling it and a little bit of carburetor cleaner to primer it. Yeah, baby. Now that we got that started, we're going to address this. We need to fix that because it would not be cool to sell this to somebody and then 20 pulls later they're screwed, right? And it's an easy fix, so why not fix it? I'm going to pull this slowly all the way out. Not all the way, but just enough to have some rope there. And then just take the vice grips, pull it there so it doesn't suck it back in, you know. And now we're just going to cut that. Just burn the end so it's nice and hard. Now here's the handle with that rope that you just cut, right? There's a metal plate here. Just take a flathead screwdriver and pry this part off. See that? And now you just pull it out. Just like that. See? You loop the new rope right through it again. Make a knot right there. First you have to loop it through the handle. Then you make the knot. Then push it back into place. And there you have it. Perfect. Now it's all fixed. So, you guys just saw it. From picking it off the street to my garage to fixing the pull cord recoil starter handle rope to cleaning the carburetor and now knowing what's wrong with it. We know it starts and it runs well. It just needs new teeth for the starter and a new primer bulb. And this thing is ready to be listed again for free. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.